They stopped bathing because they believed the water could make them sick. They stopped bathing not because they were dirty, but because they were afraid of water. Europe, the 1600s. Public bathhouses began to close, not because people didn't like water, but because they no longer trusted it. Doctors of that era had a theory, a simple one. They believed the body had tiny pores, and that water could allow harmful things to enter. So habits changed. People began to avoid bathing. At the same time, cities were growing rapidly. The streets were filling with trash. The air smelled heavy. People were unaware of what was to come. They blamed something else, the bad air. So people adapted. They washed their hands, they washed their faces, but they avoided full bathing. Clothes were changed more often, but less water was being used. And here's the part no one understood. The more people stayed away from water, the worse things became. Yet they believed the problem wasn't the water, but the air. Because when something feels right, we don't question it, even if it doesn't help. Meanwhile, the real problem was still there. It wasn't just about water. It was also about how cities were handling sanitation. And no one had fully understood this. Yet, things were changing, slowly. New observations, new patterns, new perspectives. People began to question old ideas. Slowly, understanding shifted. The real enemy wasn't water. It was how people understood it. The real issue was how water was used and how cities managed hygiene. From that moment on, bathing began to return. Hygiene conditions improved. Systems evolved. Nothing changed overnight, but everything was moving forward. And the most important part, people were never careless. They were trying to survive. They used the best knowledge they had to stay safe. They believed their bodies had pores, and that water could open them, making them more vulnerable. And maybe that's the real question. Not whether they were wrong, but how easy it is to believe something that feels right. So, what are your thoughts on this true story? Like the video and don't forget to share your comments down below.